Welcome back in. Welcome back in. It's your boy Mike coming back at y'all, man. Week 6 as we prepare to take on the LA Rams. Of course, a divisional matchup, and you see the Rams currently sitting at the top of the division after our brutal loss to the Cowboys last week that stopped our win streak to open the season at 4 games. But no time to dwell on that as we have to take care of business in front of a divisional rival at their home stadium. But we do have a couple of things to take a look at, starting with a tandem breakout on offense. Not sure who that could be, but, may have a couple of ideas, and it is going to be Rondale Moore. Love the way that he saw Rashad Bateman really step up in that Cowboys game, and he is hoping to do a little bit of that this week against the Rams. And if he does so, he is going to get a little bonus there. Rashad Bateman getting some XP for going ahead and motivating Rondale Moore like that. And how about Trey McBride here getting into the 90 overall club? One of our most spectacular players. We're absolutely happy to have him. He's been one of the most dominant tight ends in the league throughout the course of this series, and we'll expect nothing less than greatness from him as the season and seasons continue. Denario Stewart also getting in on the fun. Israel Mukuamu, a guy who is looking for a contract this year, hasn't played a whole lot since year 1. But head coach Mike White and this Arizona Cardinals brain trust have decided to go ahead and extend Israel Mukuamu an offer. He is back in town on a brand new contract. Happy to have him. But let's take a look at some of these X factors for the Rams, starting with Tua Tagovailoa, now 28 years old in his 7th season. And with Tua, we know that the story with him has never been about his elite arm strength because that he does not have. It's been about his ability to spray it all over the field accurately, on time, and in rhythm. And with some of his biggest weapons back this week, including, played myself. Cam Akers remains in the backfield here in his 7th season out of Florida State, 87 overall. And Akers is not really someone who we've had a whole lot of trouble with in this series. I mean, he's been injured a lot over the years, and just even when he's on the field, don't really feel like he's a dominant presence, whether in the run game or the pass game, even the pass protection game. But he is one of the higher rated players on this offense. But now here's the guy we were talking about that Tua has back. It's Cooper Kupp. Kupp, of course, missed 2 of the matchups last year against the Arizona Cardinals with injury. Did come back in the playoffs, but it meant little to nothing as he really did not provide much of an impact. However, even now as he gets onto the wrong side of 30, we know that he's one of the best pieces on this offense, and we will treat him as such. None of our corners going to take that matchup for granted. Now, Ronnie Stanley, linchpin of this offensive line, unfortunately going to be out with a pulled groin. Again, one of the highest rated players on this offense. And with B.J. Ojulari and Cam Thomas coming into town off the edge for Arizona, just really not a spot where you want to be missing one of the league's elite tackles, even as he's now at 32 years of age, remains one of the most elite pass protectors in the NFL. Isn't necessarily elite as a run blocker, but with his massive size and just ability to move laterally, definitely someone that can open up holes on that side as well. But if that wasn't bad enough, they will also be without the prize of their free agency class this past offseason in Jalen Phillips, 86 overall, the 6th highest rated left outside linebacker in the league. And his speed off the edge, as well as his ability to just really dominate in the trenches, definitely going to be sorely missed by this Rams front. He was anticipated to be a big part of them replacing Aaron Donald, but they will be without him this week. Middle linebacker Michael Smith now in year 3. And Smith, one of those players that really does well against us whenever we match up. He's intercepted Glenn Roberts a few times. He has elite speed for the position. He can cover. He can stop the run. He can play in space. I mean, just a whole lot of things that he's able to do well. And being so young, he's not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. So definitely going to be someone to contend with. And without having Ty Davis Price, the job is going to be that much harder. And on the back end, how about second-year safety Xavier Moorhead? Moorhead, of course, in our first matchup against them last season, intercepted Glenn Roberts not once, not twice, but 3 times in what was a really dominant and sort of a breakout performance for Moorhead. He hasn't progressed a whole lot since then, but we know what he's able to do. And even at his small size, he is a force in the run support game as well. And how about Daquan Owens here, man? Now also in his second year as the Rams have a lot of youth on this defense. 81 overall. Really good speed to go along with his borderline elite size at the position. Now, he's not someone who's going to play a whole lot of man coverage, or at least not someone who should. Zone coverage is where he really shines, kind of in that Richard Sherman mold, but much faster. And he's not necessarily going to be a huge threat in the run support game, but as the number 1 corner in this room, should expect to see a lot of Rashad Bateman lined up across from him. But only one way to find out, and that is to go ahead and get on the field and play the game. Glenn Roberts last week, 32 of 53, 506 yards, just 2 touchdowns, and did also throw 2 interceptions in the loss. Arizona, though, ready to bounce back in this game. Got a lot of work to do. A win here for either team will put them in pole position in the early goings of the year, as they'll have not just a 1-game lead in the win column, but also with the opportunity going into the second game in just a couple of weeks to, really just extend their lead in the division even further. Arizona certainly not going to be hoping to drop this game. The NFC West has been a division that they've historically in this franchise kind of owned outside of, a few years back when we won our first Super Bowl with Josh Dobbs, dropped a game to both the Rams and the Seahawks. It's been really tough sledding for those other teams. But let's take a look at the rest of this Rams roster. Tua at quarterback, Cam Akers, of course, at running back, Isaiah Spiller now in the backfield as that backup guy, John Lovett at fullback. Receivers, you got Cooper Kupp and DeAndre Hopkins, Peter Tompkins. Hopkins and Tompkins proved to be quite a formidable duo, even with the absence of Cooper Kupp. But now with Kupp back in the fold, it'll make them that much tougher to defend. David Njoku and Jermaine Gilbert at tight end. Jonah Williams filling in for the injured Ronnie Stanley at left tackle. Steve Avila, the left guard. At center, you got third-year man Jerry Proctor. Definitely somewhere you can look to take advantage of if you're Arizona. Kerry Stallings, the rookie at right guard, and another rookie at right tackle as well. Zadarius Smith at left end. Right end, you got the rookie Tyrone Spruce. Lot of young talent on this Rams team. Sebastian Joseph Day and Perion Winfrey up the gut. Byron Young at left outside linebacker. Middle linebacker Michael Smith. My bad right there, y'all. Michael Smith, Levi Baskerville, young middle linebacker duo right there, with Baskerville being just a rookie. Derek Hall at right outside linebacker. Of course, unfortunately for them, no Jalen Phillips. Daquan Owens, James Bradbury, and Andrew Booth Jr. going to be the top 3 corners. Bradbury now, one of the slower guys at the position, not really something you want to encounter going against this Cardinals team. Xavier Moorhead at free safety. Strong safety, you got Justin Reed. Kicker, Riley Patterson, and the punter going to be the rookie Matt Samuels. And Arizona going to go ahead and get things first as the Rams get us kicked off. Antonio Gibson back deep to return. He's going to take it out. Not really anywhere to go. No holes opening up. They're going to go ahead and get the first drive started at their own 18-yard line, as here is Glenn Roberts taking the field for this Arizona Cardinals offense. On the year, 125 of 211, 1,798 yards, 15 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He's averaging about 3 touchdowns a game, but is throwing more than 1 interception a game on average as well. But do like to see that the completion percentage has continued to increase now in his 3rd season. And on 1st and 10, Roberts going to start things off with a quick pass left side to Rondale Moore, who's going to be dropped down by Xavier Moorhead after a gain of just 4. Now 2nd and 6. See the Rams looking like they might be sending some heat. They don't. Hand off to Antonio Gibson, and Gibson has space. Gibson, maybe if he would have made a move to the left-hand side to get outside, Bateman could have thrown that block, opened up a little bit more space for him. He doesn't, gets it down to the 35, and they're going to hand it off to him again. Rams in the exact same front. Arizona going to let him have it again, gain of 9 yards there. And last week, Antonio Gibson, 7 carries, 72 yards, and 2 scores. Didn't really utilize him a whole lot on the ground. Even with the absence of Ty Davis-Price, as here we go, play action fake. Roberts looking right side for Trey McBride, and he hits him in stride along the sideline. No coach's challenge. The booth isn't going to take a look. It's a first down across midfield. Roberts, another play action fake, this time going across the middle of the field looking for Zach Chambers. 4 Rams jerseys in the vicinity. Not a great decision to throw that ball, but it is harmlessly knocked to the ground. Here we go, 2nd and 10, trips left side. Roberts in the shotgun, going to throw one deep, looking for Rashad Bateman, and Rashad Bateman pulls it in. Touchdown, Cardinals. It's James Bradberry there in coverage, and we talked about how, having a corner who is pretty slow-footed now at this point in his career out there as a primary part of the defense is not going to be a good thing for a team going up against this Cardinals offense that has a lot of speed and a lot of ability. Arizona strikes first as here comes Tua and the Rams offense. Tua so far on the year, 108 of 135, incredible completion percentage there. 1,332 yards, 7 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions. As here we go, first things first for the Rams, Tua in the shotgun, and he's going to start things off with a handoff to Cam Akers, who is not going to get anything. As a matter of fact, loses 1 on the carry, leading now to a 2nd and 11. As here we go, Tua again in the backfield, going. Wow, not sure how he was able to hold on to that through the contact, but does get about 4 yards there on the catch. 3rd and 7 now, Tua. In pursuit is Enrique Sneed, and Sneed is going to combine there with George Cage to bring down Tua and put an end to this Rams first possession. A quick 3 and out as Arizona gets the ball back now. Roberts dropping back and has a man up the seam. It's Trey McBride, as McBride going to be hit by 2 defenders before being brought down across midfield at the 38-yard line. Big time throw, big time catch for Trey McBride. First down for Arizona now. Roberts going to hand it off. No, he's going to keep it himself on the read option. He's going to be brought down there after a gain of 4. It's Moorhead again, who's just been everywhere so far in the early going of this game. 3rd and 6 now after not much happening on 2nd down. Glenn Roberts going to go short to Rondale Moore, who had a step, and he is able to weasel his way through for the first down to the 24-yard line. Roberts in rhythm early and looking to keep it going now. 1st and 10. Here's Glenn Roberts in the shotgun once again. Roberts looking quickly right side, trying to find Zach Chambers. Instead, he's going to be intercepted by Justin Reed, and Roberts just too much space to try and close. Reed takes it into the end zone all the way back for a pick 6 and a Rams score. Glenn Roberts, just a mental mistake there. Chambers was really by no means open. Roberts had a clean pocket. There was not a Rams defender that was even close to him, at least yet. Reed takes advantage, picks it off, takes it back for 6, and it's a tie ball game now just like that. As here is Roberts again going into an empty look. Roberts dropping back. He's looking left side for Rashad Bateman. Bateman able to tap the toes along the sideline down to the 37-yard line. And the Rams probably going to have to do something and get James Bradberry off of Bateman here, as quickly outside to Antonio Gibson, who throws a stiff arm but going to be hit hard there. But it is going to be just shy there for a 2nd and 1. Now a 2 tight end look. Roberts going to hand off to Antonio Gibson up the middle. Gibson trying to make a move, not able to make it happen there, but does have a gain of 9. Gibson already at 31 yards rushing on the day. 1st and 10 now. Roberts I'm going to hand off again to Antonio Gibson, and Gibson going to break through one and get around another. Unfortunately, Zach Chambers going to go down with injury. He will be okay, only going to miss a few snaps, which is good news if you're Arizona, as Chase Claypool onto the field. Handoff, Antonio Gibson, 2nd and 2. Gibson again not able to get around the defender as he's at 47 yards on the ground now in just the first quarter still. 1st and 10. You got trips look to the left, Gibson in the backfield, and they're going to hand it off to a Michael Smith in there to bring him down after a gain of 5. His first tackle on the game. Really shocking that he hasn't had a bigger role so far. 2nd and 5. Roberts, the play action fake, but has no time to scan the field as Tyrone Spruce, the rookie defensive end, gets into the backfield. And if you take a look, DJ Humphries blocked nobody. As soon as the ball was hiked, he just never saw Spruce coming, apparently. Blocks nobody in space. And Spruce is able to get the sack, leading to a long 3rd down. Roberts trying to go deep for Antonio Gibson, who looked like he had a step, but Daquan Owens not going to allow that. It'll be a 4th down now, and the field goal team comes on out. Cameron Dicker, who is money, and he's not going to be money this time around. A routine 51-yarder for Cameron Dicker, a kicker who missed 0 kicks last year, puts this one wide left, and the Rams are back with the ball, remaining a tie ball game. Quickly out there for Cooper Kupp, who has a gain of 3, and that will bring the first quarter to a close with the game at 7-7, despite the Rams having -1 net offensive yards. That pick 6 from Justin Reed doing a whole lot of heavy lifting right now. But no time to dwell on it. 2nd and 7, Rams. Going to hand the ball off here to Cam Akers, who has a gain of 3, and now finally with some positive rushing yards on the day. 3rd and 4, bunch look left for the Rams. See the Cardinals showing a little bit of pressure. Tua uncorking one, middle of the field for DeAndre Hopkins, and has him down to the 34-yard line. Had Andrew Stinson beat pretty much immediately. Really good rhythm throw there from Tua, leads to a 1st and 10. And they're going to hand it off this time to Cam Akers, but he is met by Juan Drummond, who brings him down for a loss of 1. 2nd down, nothing going, so it'll be 3rd and 11. Again, a trips look to the right side. Tua rolling right, trying to find somewhere to go, able to get the ball away with Enrique Sneed hot on his heels, and the Rams would settle for a field goal to take a lead at 10-7. First play, next possession, Roberts looking right side for Trey McBride, has him down to the 40-yard line. McBride already with his 2nd catch of the ball game. Did I say already? It's only this. I mean, it's already the 2nd quarter. Ignore that. With his 2nd catch of the ball game, handoff to Antonio Gibson is going to be snuffed out. It's Michael Smith in there again, dropping Antonio Gibson for a loss of 5. Now 2nd and 15, Roberts, play action fake. He pump fakes once, trying to scramble outside, but Zadarius Smith there to bring him down. The 2nd sack of the day for the Rams, and this time it's the veteran Zadarius Smith. So 2 sides of the coin. The rookie Spruce leading the way for the veteran Zadarius Smith to go ahead and add one himself. It'll be a long now 3rd and 22 for the Cardinals. And at this point, you just got to put something up and hope it sticks, as that's exactly what Roberts is going to do. Had Trey McBride, who had Justin Reed beat, but not able to connect with him. Rams defense holds strong, and they get the ball back after forcing a punt. Tua going to start out under center, bringing their tight end in motion, handoff to Cam Akers, and Akers again nowhere to go. 4 carries, just 1 yard so far, nearly halfway through the 2nd quarter. 2nd and 10, 2 receivers each side. Tua has a man across the middle. It's going to be Cooper Kupp, has it down to the 47-yard line. Tua still yet to crack 50 yards passing in this game, and despite that, the Rams are leading. 1st and 10, Tua in the shotgun, handoff to Cam Akers. Akers finally going to get something more positive than just a yard, has a gain of 6, his best run of the day so far, as he helps this Rams offense cross midfield, and they're going to hand it off to him again. He's able to sneak his way into the hole and has a gain of 7 this time. One-upping himself from the previous play. 1st and 10, Tua back under center, and they're going to try to hand it off to Akers again, who pushes off the tackle of Enrique Sneed, but brought down after a gain of 4. Akers feeling himself a little bit. Can't remember the last time he had so many positive plays in a row. As here we go, 2nd and 6. Tua looking, middle of the field. Lewis Sing should have intercepted that one. Intended for Peter Tompkins, right through the hands of Lewis Sing. Now 3rd and 6. Here's Tua dropping back quickly, and he's going to be intercepted looking for Cooper Kupp. Jalen Johnson has it. Johnson makes a mean move to the inside, and he takes it down to the 30-yard line. Unfortunately, the Rams are going to have an injury along that offensive line. Hope that he is okay. We'll find out a little bit about that a little later. As look at Jalen Johnson, man, right there where he needed to be. Wanted to show off the moves a little bit, shaking and baking Tua and Cam Akers, giving the ball back to his offense now at the 30-yard line. Really, really good positioning for Arizona. You got to hope that they make something out of it. As first play on this next possession, Roberts going to hit Rashad Bateman, who falls smartly to the ground. Would have taken likely a huge hit. Has a gain of 8, 2nd and 2 now. Roberts going to use those legs and get around the outside, trying to stiff arm a man, maybe just go down or get out of bounds in that situation. But he does have it down to the 11, an 11-yard carry there for the quarterback. Now first play out of the 2-minute warning. Antonio Gibson getting sent in motion left side. Roberts alone in the backfield. He's going to try to throw a quick strike to Trey McBride, but the pass is knocked down there. 2nd and 10 now. Roberts going to have Antonio Gibson in the backfield with him this time, and he's going to hit Trey McBride, who had to turn around for it, and the Rams defenders are going to push McBride into the end zone for the Cardinals touchdown. And Roberts now with his 2nd touchdown pass of the first half. Arizona coming to life a little bit on offense when they really, really needed it. Struggled so far on offense through most of this first half, but that's all you need is one good drive, one takeaway to lead to that. Arizona back on top now as the Rams take over under 2 minutes, and still with all 3 of their timeouts. Quick pass underneath to Cam Akers, only going to have a gain of 2, but the Rams going to hurry things back to the line. Tua trying to get his guys set quickly, not trying to waste any more time than necessary, and he's going to have DeAndre Hopkins for a gain of 17 yards to the 44. Again, continuing to hurry up. Arizona going to elect to stick in their man coverage. 1st and 10. Tua again hits a man, but not going to be able to hold on to it this time. Pass knocked away. 1:09 to go here in the first half. Tua in the shotgun, going to drop back. Looking short for Cooper Kupp, and Kupp's not going to be able to hold on to it. Amani Harris knocking that pass away. 3rd and 10, and if Arizona can stand strong here, may potentially give their offense an opportunity to go back on the other side, and the pass knocked away again. Arizona with 55 seconds and all 3 timeouts to work with. Roberts going to uncork one deep to Trey McBride, who has Reed beat again. A beautiful 24-yard strike there to Trey McBride out at the 44-yard line. Still 50 seconds to go as they're closing in on field goal range early. Trey McBride left side again. Going to be tackled inbounds after a gain of 7, but going to use that first timeout. Now 3rd and 3. Roberts quickly left side looking for Rashad Bateman, and Bateman able to get it on the quick pass and runs it down to the 33-yard line. In field goal range now, but still with 2 timeouts and 34 seconds to go. Roberts going to go ahead and flip the play around just a little bit. Well, just a little bit. There's only one way to flip the play. Flip the play around as here he is looking deep for McBride. McBride holds on through the contact, goes up and gets it. They'll use their 2nd timeout now of the game. Here's Roberts, pump fake. Roberts looking end zone for Antonio Gibson and connects with him for the touchdown. Arizona pulling out 2 touchdowns in the closing 2 minutes of the first half. And what a way to end this first half, man. Roberts with the pump fake fooled the kind of backline players in that secondary. They had a linebacker covering Antonio Gibson. He's going to win that matchup more often than not, as Denario Stewart nearly intercepts the pass, and Roberts with a picture-perfect throw, able to give the Cardinals now a 2-possession lead. 22 seconds to go here for the Rams. Here's Tua, 2nd and 10. Looking left side, has a man. It's DeAndre Hopkins, but he is going to step out of bounds. Now 3rd and 3. They're going to flip the play around themselves. Another quick pass outside. It's Njoku who's going to be hit out of bounds at the 39. And Arizona content to give up, these 4, 5, 6-yard throws. They only have 12 seconds to go and still have quite a ways to go to get into field goal range. And Tua looking deep, trying to find a man, and has him. DeAndre Hopkins. Tua with an amazing throw there, right sideline. Andrew Stinson not able to track that one. DeAndre Hopkins gets his feet down, gets them into field goal range, and they're going to go ahead and just bring their kicking unit on. Riley Patterson there. Kick is up and kick is money. And that is going to give the Rams, or bring the Rams to within one possession of Arizona as we head to the half, with Arizona leading 21-13, and the Rams still not doing a whole lot offensively, just 112 yards. However, once again, that's pick six doing a lot of heavy lifting so far. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on around the league. In New England, San Francisco, their 5th loss of the year. Mac Jones going 2 touchdowns. Juan McKinney looks like he did not really get any stats due to injury, more than likely. Juju getting in twice as well. Philly leading 24-14 over the 1-4 Titans. Trey Lance, 2 first-half turnovers. A.J. Brown getting into the end zone. Philly looking to add their 5th win of the year onto the ledger. And in a divisional matchup, it's the Bears trailing the Packers 14-7. Former Packer Christian Watson putting the only touchdown for the Bears on the board so far, while Curtis Yates, young quarterback for the Packers, with 2 first-half touchdowns. And that first half was a slugfest for us, man. The offense, all things considered, moved very well. Didn't really move that well until the final 2 minutes, but well enough to put 2 late touchdowns on the board. The pick six is something that, of course, the offense is going to think about. But still with some cushion, 21-13, Rams get the ball to start out. And the Cardinals have an opportunity defensively to go ahead and sap some momentum from the Rams as 2nd and 1 here. Tua in the shotgun, calling out, looking to make some adjustments. Cardinals looks like they're bringing in all-out pressure, and Tua recognizes it immediately, hits his young tight end Jermaine Gilbert, and Gilbert takes it the distance for the Rams touchdown. Just 2 plays for the Rams to make their way into the end zone. A 66-yard catch and run. Arizona's defense maybe a little bit too aggressive there on the all-out blitz on 2nd and 1. Tua, not to be fooled, he is still a veteran in this league. He loves it, and now they are just a 2-point conversion away from tying the ball game up. Tua under center in the shotgun, gonna hand it off to Cam Akers, who breaks off a tackle and gets in for the 2-point try. Rams now tying this ball game up after just 44 seconds in the second half, as here's Antonio Gibson back deep. Gibson makes a move, gets around the edge. Antonio Gibson has space up the left sideline. Space is going to close quickly, but not before he gets across midfield to the 44-yard line. Huge return there for Antonio Gibson, who's done so many good things for us in this game offensively and now on special teams. 1st and 10, bunch trips look to the right-hand side. Glenn Roberts here in the shotgun, gonna look quickly for Rondale Moore on the bubble screen, only able to get about 4 yards there. And guess who, man? Xavier Moorhead in there to make the tackle. Rondale just 18 yards on 3 catches so far today. Antonio Gibson gets the give, working right side. Shocked he made anything out of that, as it looked like he was going to lose yards, certainly on that play. He doesn't, so it'll be a 3rd and 5 after gaining 1 from at the 39-yard line now. Roberts rolling, hitting Trey McBride on the move. Michael Smith bringing him down after a gain of 22 yards. And Roberts and McBride, man, they've been locked in today. Really had a nice rhythm. McBride over 100 yards now, closing in on 150. And Roberts not going to waste any time getting him there as he hits him on the quick strike. And McBride with his 2nd touchdown now of the ball game. And Arizona, just as quickly as they, gave up their lead, they get it right back. Trey McBride proving to be once again a weapon the Rams just can't stop. This, of course, coming on the heels of game 1 last year where he scored 6 touchdowns. And now the Rams back with the ball, looking to make something happen. Handoff to Cam Akers. Akers able to find his way for about 6 yards there. Interesting he was able to get so much going. But it will be 2nd and 4 now. Handoff again. Cam Akers up the gut. Able to break off a tackle again. Breaks off another. And Cam Akers has space. Going to be hawked down by Amani Harris. But not before he rumbles for 37 yards. I mean, that might be the longest play Cam Akers has had against us in this franchise. Really, really good power running there from him. And we were saying before this game that he's never really threatened us on the ground or through the air. Must have heard the noise, gave him a little bit of billboard material. As the Rams now at the 32-yard line of Arizona. And Akers going to push off another tackler. Not sure where this is coming from Cam Akers, but the Rams have to be loving it on their side. 2nd and 5, play action. Tua going short left side. He has his man Njoku down to the 21-yard line, closing in into the red zone. 1st and 10 now from the 21-yard line. 2 tight ends set. Tua in the shotgun. And Tua looking deep for DeAndre Hopkins. Has him back of the end zone for the Rams touchdown. Not sure what Jalen Thompson was doing there. Vacated his zone. Gave Tua just a prime option to go to. Tua, once again, finds his receiver in stride. We know that his accuracy is one of his best attributes, and he shows it off again there. And the Rams are tied again as Trey McBride not able to haul that one in through good coverage from the Rams. 2nd and 10, quick pass left side to Rondale Moore, who's going to be stopped just short of that first down. 3rd and inches now. 2 tight end set. Gibson in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to him, and Gibson should have it come. He's running backwards. Wait a second. What's going on? Antonio Gibson really giving Arizona a heart attack there, as he had the first and didn't have the first, but does ultimately pick up the first. It'll be 1st and 10. Play action fake to Antonio Gibson. Roberts going to go short to Trey McBride, who takes a big hit from Justin Reed, and he's going to have nothing to gain there. No yards, tackled at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10, Roberts from under center. Going to look short for Zach Chambers, and Chambers getting his first action of the game, a 28-yard catch and run for the rookie receiver. As Glenn Roberts continuing to have a wonderful day, of course, outside of the interception. 1st and 10. Here's Roberts scrambling out. Roberts nowhere to go with it. Has a man upfield. It's Antonio Gibson. And Antonio Gibson able to get away from his man and give Glenn Roberts somewhere to go with his pass. Antonio Gibson, who already had one really good receiving touchdown in the first half, doubles it up here, makes it 2, and that is a play of the year candidate if I've ever seen one. Really, really good synergy there between Glenn Roberts and Antonio Gibson, as the Rams now on their next possession. Handoff again to Cam Akers for a gain of 7. 2nd and 3 now. Tua. And this is a formation they've liked all day. Handoff to Cam Akers, and this time B.J. Ojulari is having none of it. Drops him for a loss of 2. 3rd and 5, and the Rams, who have 2 touchdowns so far in this third quarter after having none offensively in the first half, they're going to go ahead and be forced to punt it away after Tua is forced to throw it away. 4th and 5, Rams punting. Gibson back deep to return. We've seen his contributions on offense and on kickoffs, and he's trying to go after a little bit more as he has space on this punt return, and Antonio Gibson really doing it all here for Arizona. Takes it across midfield on the return to the 47-yard line. Roberts quickly for Zach Chambers and has him down to the 30, a 17-yard connection. They're going to hurry things up. They like the way that they had this Rams defense lined up. Roberts, another quick throw to Trey McBride, who has a gain of 15 yards there. And Trey McBride now 11 catches for 172 yards. Just really piling it on this Rams team that cannot defend him. Tries to go for him again. Won't be able to. Zadarius Smith now down for the Rams. But that is going to do it for the third quarter. Rams trailing 35-28. And their offense, again, I mean, they've had two touchdown drives so far in the second half. Their defense hasn't been able to really stop Arizona, though, yet here in the second half, as Antonio Gibson has a gain of 5 yards. And the Rams definitely need some kind of stop here. Can't allow a touchdown if you really want to, stay within striking distance of this high-powered Cardinals attack. 3rd and 5, though. Here's Roberts, and he's going to go short to who else? Trey McBride dives into the end zone for the touchdown. His 3rd of the day. The Rams just refusing to cover him. McBride, who could have 14 or 15 catches, if it wasn't for a few, mistimed throws from Glenn Roberts, able to corral that one, walks it into the end zone. Arizona back up 2 scores. Rams now with the ball. First play of their possession only goes for 1 yard. 2nd and 9 now. Tua in the shotgun, looking left side. Pass knocked away from Cooper Kupp once again. Amani Harris there on the pass breakup. 3rd and 9 now. Here we are, Tua making some adjustments. Tua looking right side, trying to find a man, and it's going to be completed. Peter Tompkins able to go ahead and corral that one through a tough coverage play from Lewis Cine. Thought Cine would at the very least knock it away. He doesn't. Rams pick up a first down, a much needed first down on that 3rd down play. So on 1st and 10, of course, Enrique Sneed says, let's go ahead and push them back a little bit more. Sneed in there for the sack, a loss of 7 there by the Rams, as Sneed now 1.5 sacks on the day. 2nd and 17, trying to set up the screen. Sneed nearly intercepts it, and the Rams right back where they started, but this time a 3rd and long, 3rd and 17. And we know that the Cardinals don't typically give up passes of this nature, but they will this time around, as Jalen Johnson gambles, not going to pay off this time. And Peter Tompkins, after picking up a tough 3rd down on the previous set of downs, has a 68-yard catch and run on the next 3rd down, this one being a 3rd and super long, 3rd and 17. Jalen Johnson, typically not someone who, isn't going to track that type of ball, doesn't this time around. And the Rams now within a score once again. They have 22 second half points, and they're really, really starting to get things rolling on the offensive side as Trey McBride hauls in yet another pass. And Arizona with an opportunity to potentially, make this a game-sealing drive, as Glenn Roberts going to keep it and going to be have the ball knocked out of his hands. But Zach Chambers there to reel it back in after a gain of 12. 1st and 10, Glenn Roberts again quickly left side for Rashad Bateman. They've left that pass open a few times so far today. Roberts going to take advantage of it every time, leading now to a 2nd and 3. You see the Rams have a pretty stacked box up there up front, as Antonio Gibson only going to be able to get a gain of about 1 there. And Gibson just 3 rushing yards since the first quarter. Not something you would have expected to see. 3rd and 2. Roberts able to find his way through traffic to pick up the first down. Slides in front of 2 Rams defenders. And that was a huge play there. A heads-up play by Glenn Roberts to pick up the first down, keep the chains moving, and most importantly, keep that clock running. Handoff to Antonio Gibson. Going to go for about 13 yards down to the 37-yard line. 4:05 to go in the ball game. Handoff again to Antonio Gibson, and Gibson going to have space 14 yards down to the 23. Rams defense looking like it's starting to get a little fatigued, a little deflated. They're going to go ahead and nope, they're going to play action this time around. Roberts on the run has Rashad Bateman, and he is going to be hit into the end zone for the Arizona touchdown. And man, what's that smell? Man, that's that stinky leg, man. Oh, Rashad Bateman getting it done. And Trey McBride has been the go-to guy so far today, but you can't forget about Rashad Bateman, who has 2 touchdowns to his credit as well. And Arizona now with a 2-possession lead with just 3:24 to go. And if this defense can find some type of form, the Rams shouldn't be able to really make too much noise here. But Tua going to start things out with a 20-yard dot to DeAndre Hopkins, who has been by and large their best receiver today, even with the presence of Cooper Kupp. 1st and 10, Tua rolling out to his left. No one there. Denario Stewart trying to get him and does manage to trip him up after a gain of 18. He likely would have slid anyway, but he's across midfield to the 36-yard line. Rams moving, only been a minute on this possession. Pass knocked away there by Jalen Thompson. It'll be a 2nd and 10. Cardinals finally able to go ahead and adjust that defense a little bit. Tua trying to find somewhere to go, but George Cage in there to make sure he can't go far. Drops him for a loss of 8, and they're going to hurry things up. 3rd and 18 now. Tua goes short to Cooper Kupp. Ojulari can't bring him down. Another missed tackle, and Jalen Thompson brings him down as we head to the 2-minute warning. That is now 2 third and long conversions for the Rams in this game. 3rd and 17 leading to a touchdown. This time 3rd and 18 because apparently the defense forgot how to tackle for that play. 1st and 10. Tua with a lob throw there outside, going to be intercepted by Jalen Johnson. And if the game wasn't already over, Jalen Johnson's dive into the end zone surely has to be the game sealer. His 2nd interception of the game, and did it when it mattered most. Jalen Johnson, man, we talk so much about Andrew Stinson, so much about Amani Harris, and we know what Jalen Johnson brings to the table, but he might truly be the guy in this secondary with the biggest nose for the football. Has another one there. Rams trailing now by 21 points, and with 1:48 to go, it would take an epic collapse for the Rams to have any type of chance here, but they're going to try it here with 16 yards to Peter Tompkins. Tua going to hurry things up. Rams have been at their most successful on offense when they've been in this hurry up 2-minute offense. As here we go, Peter Tompkins. And Tompkins, who didn't have a catch until the second half, is on his way to over 100 yards on the day. Has another 8 yards there, leading to a 2nd and 2. Tua scrambling left side, has a man. It's Cam Akers. Enrique Sneed, though, there to bring him down as the clock continues to roll now under 50 seconds. Rams, of course, having to hold on to all 3 of those timeouts down so much. Pass knocked away. Big time pass breakup there by Jalen Johnson again. 2nd and 10 now. Trips look to the right. One tight end in. It's Njoku. And Tua going to uncork a deep one for him. Jaron Curse loses him in coverage. Is going to bring him down, though, before he manages to get into the end zone. And Njoku going to be hurt on that catch. Would not return for the remainder of the ball game. Hope he is okay. 1st and goal. Tua looking short, pass knocked away. It'll be 2nd and goal now. Enrique Sneed in there to go ahead and break that one up. 2nd and goal. Tua making some adjustments once again. Gonna go short, and it is a Rams touchdown. Jermaine Gilbert in for the injured Njoku. They get one back, lining up for the onside kick, and the recovery by Rondale Moore is going to bring an end to this ball game. The Arizona Cardinals walking away with a 56-42 victory. And although it was a very, very good offensive performance, you have to be a bit discouraged by a Cardinals offense that through the first 4 weeks of the season was one of the most dominant in the league, but has now allowed back-to-back 40-yard games from the opposing team. 44 to Dallas last week in a loss. This time 42 to the Rams in a win. Over 450 yards for the Rams on offense, but Arizona with 560. 10 more first downs, 29-19. 1 turnover for Arizona, that pick 6, 2 for the Rams, and 6 of 8 on 3rd down. I mean, going to be incredibly hard to win a game if you allow the other team to go 6 of 8. Rams, though, were 5 of 10 to their credit. 50%, a manageable number. But Glenn Roberts, man, 29 of 38, 456 yards, 7 passing touchdowns. Did have the 1 pick early, but after that, he was as money as it gets. 76% completion percentage. Tua, 22 for 39, 399, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks. Those 2 picks, though, coming in critical situations. Antonio Gibson, of course, 15 for 85 on the ground. Cam Akers having probably his best day against us in the series, 13 for 72. Glenn Roberts did have a couple big scrambles as well. Trey McBride leading the way for both teams, 13 for 188 and 3 scores. Huge day for him. Rashad Bateman as well, going 6 for 117 and 2 scores. DeAndre Hopkins and Peter Tompkins each going over 100 yards, 6 for 109 and a score and 4 for 105 and a score, respectively. Jermaine Gilbert, despite being the backup tight end, 3 for 76 and 2 scores. Antonio Gibson finding his way into the end zone twice through the air as well. And we also know what he was able to do in that special teams role also. Defensively, Xavier Moorhead, 13 tackles. Bradbury, 12 as well. Snead and George Cage, 3 and 2 tackles for loss, respectively, also leading the way with 1.5 sacks apiece. Tyrone Spruce and Zadarius Smith each contributing as well. Jalen Johnson, 2 picks. Justin Reed with 1. Daquan Owens forcing the fumble that Zach Chambers recovered. Johnson and Reed each with a defensive touchdown as well. And man, I mean, what can you say about what Glenn Roberts has been doing recently? Over 500 yards against Dallas, albeit in a loss. And this week, over 450. He has 958 yards over the last 2 games. And if he can keep this rolling, man, this might just be the year for him to become the guy. Even though he has led us to a Super Bowl victory last year, we are more sold on him than we've been at any point. And with performances like this, he'll continue to rise up the ranks of the passers in this league. But that is going to bring us into a week 7 matchup against the Denver Broncos, who sit at 4-2. And if you haven't checked them out, man, one of my really good friends, Bankroll Mafia, man, he's doing a Denver Broncos franchise. He's also in year 4, man. He has some elite talent on that team. We see what Rashad Bateman has done since coming over in the trade. But you don't know about Dion Dale, man. You don't know what that man has meant to not only his young signal caller and Jeremy Carter, but to the league and its record books, just rewriting them game after game, year after year. So definitely go ahead and check him out, man. You'll see I've reposted quite a videos of his in the communities tab. So wanted to give him his proper respect and shout out, man. Really great guy, has really good content. So definitely, should you feel so inclined, as you know I like to say, go ahead and feel free to give him a check out. I do appreciate you all tuning in, man. I hope you enjoyed. That was one of the most fun games this season, probably behind the Dallas game. But as always, be sure to like and subscribe should you feel so inclined. Have a great rest of y'all day. Till next time, and peace.